if the federal government will not. And he's invoking his authority under the Constitution to defend against invasion. All this has been made inevitable by Joe Biden refusing to enforce the border. It is the duty of the President of the United States to enforce immigration law. He doesn't just get to decide. He doesn't wish to enforce immigration law, that he wishes to leave the border wide open. We've had a minimum of 6 million people illegally enter the United States since Joe Biden took office. That's an entire state worth of people. And Joe Biden is keeping that border open, despite the fact that it would be politically smart for him to actually work on closing the border, given the fact that Americans don't like his border policy. He's been captured by the radical left, and it's leading to this standoff with the state of Texas. Now, let's make clear also, Texas has not violated the law in any way so far, like not even close. It is perfectly legal for them to put up razor wire so far. The Supreme Court simply said that the federal government can take it down, but that doesn't mean that Abbott has done anything wrong. And in fact, again, all of this right now can be laid at the feet of the President of the United States. Governor America's southern border in Arizona, 0 Border Patrol agents. Why? They were all over at the detention facility doing processing work where they take basic information about your life. Illegal immigrants are coming across the border with phone numbers of people in various cities they wish to visit. We literally have on tape sheets of paper with phone numbers of people in Denver, in Atlanta, in Houston. The entire desert is covered in trash over there, trash left by illegal immigrants who are crossing that desert to get it. And again, it's not just that the drug cartels are getting paid for the illegal immigrants that they smuggle in at the border. It's that the drug cartels are trying to gather Border Patrol agents to the processing facilities and away from guarding the border so that the really dangerous people, not just the illegal immigrants who want to come here and who want to work, some want to be on welfare. We're talking about the people who are actively dangerous, people with criminal records, people who are terrorists, people who want to smuggle drugs into the country. When the border is unprotected, that's when these people cross the border with the help of the Mexican drug cartels. We drove to the southern border in Arizona, and it is absolutely stunning what is going on at the southern border. Not merely the numbers of people who are showing up at ports of entry and then being caught and released. Catch and release is where you claim asylum. They bring you in, they process you. There are no beds for detention facilities, and they're not going to detain you anyway if you come in with a kid for very long. So instead, they just release you into the interior with a come back later date, which nobody ever does. It's not just that. It is that the drug cartels are in complete control of the southern border. We have a documentary that is now available at Daily Wire Plus that shows you everything that we saw at the southern border. We took a giant tour, about 25 miles of the southern border in Arizona with Brandon Judd, who is in fact the head of the Border Patrol Officers Union. And it is astonishing because, again, not only is the southern border largely undefended, it is made so by this administration. Near the beginning of are mobilizing in support of Greg Abbott in Texas, who is standing up to Joe Biden's open borders routine. We were recently down on the Arizona border. We have a brand new documentary out at dailywire.com. You should go check it out right now, all about what's going on the southern border. And it really is astonishing. Essentially, the Biden administration has turned Border Patrol into a busing, ferrying, and processing service for illegal immigration. They're doing the work of the drug cartels because the drug cartels are using the Biden policy in order to distract Border Patrol so as to allow people with criminal records, drug smugglers, across the now empty parts of the border. Those borders are being left empty because, again, Joe Biden has told Border Patrol agents that their main job is to simply take people who are claiming asylum and then process them and let them into the interior of the country. Texas is doing the right thing. The other states standing with them are as well. Go check out our documentary on the whole issue over at dailywire.com right now. It's called The Divided States of Biden. So currently experiencing an invasion.
A lot of people coming in from Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria.
Is there a fair bit of gang affiliation among?
Always. These people are just crossing the border illegally, waving their hands in the air at our cameras saying, hey, here I am, come get me. We're no longer the Border Patrol, we're the Welcome Patrol.
The #1 site in America for fentanyl trafficking across the border. And if Joe Biden remains in office, it's only going to get worse. I'm Ben Shapiro, and this is The Divided States of Biden, invasion on the southern border. Watch now on Daily Wire Plus.
It's a great watch, folks. Go to Daily Wire Plus, watch the documentary. It's just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, when you tell people this, I tell people this. I was just at a dinner party the other night, this past Friday. And I was just telling, we had about 15, 20 families, and we were just, talking as you do, sports, politics, religion, whatever. And I'm trying to tell some people this, and I'm telling them, and some of them don't even believe it. I said, like, what do you think's happening at the border? Oh, it's just propaganda. I said, have you taken a look at the clips? Have you watched even the mainstream news, the alphabet networks? I'm not talking about, because, forget about, when you mention Fox, everybody goes, oh, Fox, those right wing guys. Okay, because we live in an area basically in a community that's so leftist, so liberal. Majority of our friends, neighbors are leftist liberal. They're always wondering what the hell I'm doing on the right side. Why am I conservative? And I say, why? Are you being racist because this is brown here? But then what about this whiteness over here? And whiteness in other parts of my body. I mean, I've got areas that are pretty damn white, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay? I mean, come on, folks. Raise because see, but that's the way it is. Oh, because you're from your second, third generation immigrant family, and your parents are from Pakistan, India, and you should be all for this. I said, what? All for open borders? All for people just running roughshod? I said, I lock my door at night. I shut my windows. We have an alarm system. Don't just let anybody in the door. That's what we're doing. We're just letting everybody in the door. We're giving a piece of paper and saying, hey, why don't you come back in 10, 15, 20 years? Remember the thing with Ted Cruz? Somebody said they were told to come back like in 2033? 10 years from now. Just let them get in the interior of the country. It doesn't really matter. They'll fend for themselves. And if something happens, who cares? No sweat off our back. I mean, this is just absolutely incredible. The catch and release program? Catch them, process them, release them into the country. And when John Kirby comes on at the White House and starts talking to reporters and does his basically impersonation of, Joseph Mengele and, the Nazi, well, that was a doctor of death, actually. Well, I'm trying to think. I can't think of his name right now, but he was a Ministry of Propaganda. Goebbels. All right? That's what we have. We have a Ministry of Propaganda. Everybody knows that they're lying out of their ass. Everybody knows that they're speaking with not a forked tongue, but like of many tongues. Everybody knows that what's coming out of Jean-Karine Pierre, the lesbian, bisexual, non-binary, gender fluid, press secretary who only got there because of the reasons I just said before, not because she actually can lay claim to it through means of saying that she deserves it. No. Everything for that position that was needed to be attained is not why she was hired for the position. She was hired for the position because she's a black, lesbian, non-gender, binary, LGBTQ supporting MOUSE person. That's why she's there. The lies that emanate from her, the verbal diarrhea from her, the lies and the verbal diarrhea from John Kirby, saying that the reason that this is happening is because Republicans are not willing to give funding to hire another 1,300 border agents. And he really thinks that the reason that the border agents are wanting to be hired is to protect the border and prevent the illegal aliens from coming in? No. They need more border agents to do more processing so they can process even more and more and more people coming into the country. That's the main reason. And so when you see states, 25 governors are willing to back Governor Abbott and in Texas and sending down their Army reserves, their National Guardsmen to help. That's just great, solid, unification of these Republican governors that are saying, Texas, we're with you. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasir. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, comment below. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you liked our content. Look at our other video links here and below. My final thought is always, when you're right, and Texas is right. And when you're left, like the Biden administration, You're just freaking wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.